Good morning. So we have started chapter 2. The name of the chapter is biological classification, and we already have done the various type of classification, and we have seen that how in due course of time the classification is changed. Again, first it was two kingdom classification, then three kingdom classification was introduced, then four kingdom, and now we are having five kingdom classification. However, we are lagging back in world over. There are several places where two more domains have been added, and it may go on changing in the during in the futures. Okay, and that is why it is said that in the science of classification there is only one thing which is true, that is the species. Rest all can change its place. The kingdom can change, the phylum can change, the class can change, the order can change, even genus can change, families can change. What is not changing, that is the species. Okay, so that is why I've already done. Now today I'm going to start the first of the kingdom, that is the kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera include the most simplest organism. The most simplest organism. That is, they are the prokaryotes. Prokaryotes. What pro stands for? Before karyote means nucleus. That is, these are the organisms which are those which do not have even nucleus. Okay? Before. Yes, they are not even having nucleus. So these are the organisms in which the nucleus and the membrane bounded organelle are completely absent. Rather, I can say that in the body of these organisms we have only and only one kind of cell organelle, that is ribosomes. Okay? And the centrosomes are there, which are actually forming the basal body for the what they call flagella and cilia. That's all. So prokaryotes are the most simplest organism, and they are the most abundant organism, most abundant. That is, in the world, there are so many in number that we cannot count them because they are so tiny that they are invisible. So there are microbes anywhere, here, on your pen, on your hands, on your books and all. Okay, so microorganisms are found practically everywhere. However, their survival they require the liquid or moist medium, and that will be available either on any of the food item which is wet, or the dead bodies, or any other such things, or decaying organic matter and all. In the dry matter, they are found in the form of spores. The body is so simple and unicellular, microscopic, that their size varies from 0.2 micron to 10 micron. Okay? 0.2 micron to 10 micron. So 0.2 micron to 2 microns, those organs which are found, they are so microscopic, that is, they are given a special name, that is called PPLO, pleuropneumonia like organism. Okay? Pleuropneumonia like organisms. So they are very, very small, and most of them are even disease causing. Okay, so mononucleons are very, very small in size. Okay, if we look from outside to inside, what their body will be consisting of? So their body will have a cell coat, which is actually formed by the fusion of cell wall and cell membrane. The cell wall is actually made up of peptidoglycan, that is, they are the polycarbohydrate with the proteins impregnated. So they are peptidoglycan. The, the cell membrane is actually made up of lipid and protein that you all know. Their cell wall is special. Okay, we will not find this type of cell wall anywhere in the other phylums and kingdoms. Okay, so that is important thing. If I draw a diagram of a typical monomer, we can draw like this. So this is cell membrane. Then you can have cell wall. Outside it is just fused with the cell membrane, why they are collectively called cell coat. Okay. Then they may have flagella. These are mesosomes. Then they have one single chromosome found in towards the side. And where the chromosome is found, that side cytoplasm list is dead. So this is called nucleoid region. NuClVOID region. Remember, they do not have nucleus. So the nucleus is not there, but they have got one single chromosome which is surrounded by 10 cytoplasms, and that is called nucleoid region. Then you can see these infoldings of the membrane, they are called mesosomes. Now, mesosomes are the क्या कहते हैं infolding of the cell membrane which are actually increasing the surface area. Surface area is, we already know that all the metabolic activity of the cell is actually taking place on some membranes, and these membranes here are mesosomes. The mesosomes are not specifically carrying out a specific task. Like we studied the eukaryotic organism, mitochondria is meant only for respiration, plastids are only made for, that is the chromoplast, chloroplast is only made for photosynthesis, and endoplasmic reticulum is the area of synthesis of the lipids and the proteins and all. So like the ribosomes are protein synthetic organisms. So like that, there is no specific task is done in the mesosome. Rather, any type of activity which they had to carry out, that will be done on the mesosome. And in the cytoplasm, the only cell organelle which they have is ribosomes. So that's all. That's all. There is no complexity at all. Okay. So if the complexity is not there, so their life will be very simple. Okay. Oh, now come to the next, that is lifestyle. So their lifestyle is very, very simple. That is, they are showing the great diversity in their mode of nutrition. Some are photosynthetic, like Anabina and nostoc and blue-green algae and all. Okay. There are some which are symbiotic, which are actually living with the other organisms, like some found in our intestine in the form of E. coli, which are living along with our body. Rhizobacterium bacteria, the most common one, which we already studied. Then you will study about what you call mycorrhiza. So lichens you already studied. So these are the symbiotic one. Okay. The next parasite. Lot of microorganisms are there which are actually parasitic, and all these parasitic microbes actually causes number of different type of diseases in us. Okay. So we know that bacteria-borne diseases, all those bacterial diseases are actually caused by the parasitic microbes. Then there are large number of them which are decomposers, which are actually helping us in decomposing the dead organic matter and returning them back to the environment so that they can be recycled. Okay. If we talk about the respiration, most of them are anaerobic because they do not have mitochondria. However, some of them are able to carry out aerobic respiration with the help of their mesosomes. Okay. Now, on the basis of their shapes, they are classified into four categories. Now, since bacteria are not showing very much of difference, so it is very difficult to classify them. So we are classifying them on certain basis, and one of the basis shape. So classification on the basis of shape. They are classified into four types. What are the four types? That is the rod shape, the spherical, the comma shape, and spiral. So rod shapes are called, yes. So the rod shape is called vessel. These are called foci. Comma shape is nucleo, and spiral is called spiral. So these are the different shapes, and on the basis of shape, they are given different names. Okay, but that is not solving a very big problem because their lifestyle may be a great variation. So this type of classification is just for the name sake. That is what is their shape. It only tells us about their shape. So the second classification is done on the basis of their origin when they have originated. Okay? And on the basis of origin, there are the old one and the comparatively new or that is developed. The old one are known as Archaebacteria, Archaebeacter, and comparatively much advanced, they are called Eubacteria. Archaebacteria, as the name indicates, archae word is archaeological survey, archeo. So now where the word archeo comes, that is means that is old. Okay, so the archaebacteria are the old bacteria, very old. They are known as the one of the oldest type of bacteria, and we'll study some of the examples. Three examples we'll study of this. The first is thermoacidophil, thermoacidophil. Then halophyte. Okay, and the third one is the methanogens. Okay, now thermoacidophils. Word is consisting of three heats. Thermo means heat. Acid means heat. That is acid. We all know. And phils, matlab lovers. Okay, so thermoacidophils, that is those bacteria which even can easily survive in the high temperature and the acidic environment. So they are very primitive and they are most successful. They can even found in the hot water bodies where the environment is acidic. Now how acidic? Do we see any source of water which is acidic? Yes. Yes, there are several sources of the water which are acidic. Now, how they become acidic? There may be two reasons. One, that is due to the biological activity, sulfur must, or the geographical activity, the sulfur must oxidize and that is dissolved in the water, or sometimes the volcano erupt, then sulfur dioxide gases come out, and that sulfur dioxide comes from the earth in the form of sulfuric acid, or some industrial carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide is released, and that may dissolve in the water and come. That is a very simple source, and they may not have a higher percentage. That acid rain may be somewhere about point few percentage, not even 1%. But this acid is actually formed by the actions of these thermoacidophil bacteria, which are archaebacteria. Say for example, this is a water body, and the water body has got sulfur. Okay? If you know that sulfur is found in the depth of the water body, and that there are some pores through which the heat emerges, heat comes out, geothermal energy, as well as sulfur also comes out. So there is sulfur in these hot water bodies. When these bacteria comes there, these bacteria are chemosynthetic bacteria. If you have studied class 10, chemosynthesis, I have to explain you, are those bacteria which are producing their energy by oxidation of inorganic substances. So one of the inorganic substances is sulfur. So what they do, they oxidize sulfur into sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide can be oxidized into sulfur dioxide, SO3, and SO3 can dissolve in water, hot water, and produce H2SO4. And the pH may be very low, up to 4. इतना pH को tolerate कर सकते हैं. That is why they already said thermoacidophils, lovers, they can easily survive even in such acidic environment. Okay, so they can easily survive in such acidic environment at such high temperature and all. So these are thermoacidophils. Now you will surprised to know that our enzymes can tolerate only certain temperature. If our body temperature go beyond 50 degrees Celsius, all our enzymes will denature. जैसे आप गर्म तवे के ऊपर अंडा डालते हैं तो the fluid liquid egg that change into solid, so there is no more that particular protein albumin which was found in the liquid form. Now when it is solidified, it has lost its nature. So similarly, when the temperature increases, the enzymes loses their property, and as the enzyme will lose their property, so their activities should stop. That means these thermoacidophile have got a special kind of enzymes which can even tolerate high temperature, and that is why we are saying we are studying them. Otherwise, what is the wonder? Okay, so thermoacidophils are those enzymes which bacteria which have got specific enzymes which can even work in the high temperature and low pH. The pH is as low as 2, not 4, 2. 2 pH मतलब आप इंसान को डाल दो उसके अंदर और एक दिन बाद निकाल लो तो हड्डियां भी नहीं मिलेगी. Mogembo Kushwa wala movie, if you remember, which one was that? Mr. India, है ना? So सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड के टैंक में डुबो दिया, आदमी गायब, फिनिश, खल्लास, गायब. So the living body cannot tolerate such a high temperature and low pH. But these bacteria easily survive. However, if the acid further increases and the pH goes below this, then they may die. So this is how we get natural source of sulfuric acid. Very good. Industry वगैरह को बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just go in search, and if you find some water bodies, some अच्छा, these will be found in only those places where the geothermal energy escapes and hot water pools are there. So not all hot water pools are good. In some of the olden literature, you may find that some of these hot water pools were also used by the people for getting rid of their skin diseases. Why? Because they had sulfur, but not sulfuric acid. पता चला आज मैं गया वापस ही नहीं आया. Okay, so that is thermoacidophile. Second is halophils, halophytes. Now halo means, what is meant by halo? Halo is actually stand for salt. Okay, so halophils are those bacteria, halophytes are those bacteria which can survive even in the extremely saline water. Extremely saline water. So their body has got special arrangement to prevent the endosmosis, sorry, exosmosis. That is, outside the water is very less, no, in compared to the body has got water. So their water will go out from their cell membranes, but they got specific arrangement for that. And they can even live in the extremely salt water, that is the brine solution. Okay, and the third one, as the name indicates, they are methane producing bacteria. Methanogens are even found in the rumen of the ruminant animals. Okay, the stomach of the ruminant animals. Now, the one section of their stomach is known as rumen. और ruminant animal कौन से होते हैं? गाय, भैंस, and all those animals which produce methane. ठीक है, जिनके बाड़े के पास जाओ आपको एक अजीब सी महक आती है. ऑफ कोर्स मीथेन इज ऑर्डरलेस गैस, बट हाइड्रोजन सल्फाइड एंड अदर गैसेस आर आल्सो प्रोड्यूस्ड, सो दैट्स व्हाई यू गेट अ स्पेसिफिक स्मेल. एनीवे, मिथेनोजेंस में वेरी कॉमन जो मिथेनोजेंस है वो है गाय है, भैंसे हैं, एंड यू फाइंड दैट अदर wild animals like deer and all. Okay, so they produce methane. Why? Because their rumen has methanogen bacteria, and they, when digest cellulose, so they produce methane as an what do you call, byproduct. Okay, so when these fecal matter like cow dung and such thing are put into the gobar gas plant, so by their decomposition, we get methane gas, and that methane gas is used by we people for as a fuel. Okay, so they are, and the other bacteria which we are studying, the U bacteria, a large number of bacteria are there. Now we cannot describe all of them. I already explained them on the basis of their mode of nutrition, their mode of respiration, and even we'll study their reproduction, but that little later. So इसमें आ रहे खास तरह के बैक्टीरिया जिनको हम कहते हैं blue green algae. Now, name indicates that they are algae. They are not algae. This was the wrong name given by the scientists because of their capability of carrying out photosynthesis. Now, photosynthetic aquatic organisms were known as algae. So the name is given as the blue-green algae, thinking that because they are carrying out photosynthesis, they may be algae. However, they are not no algae, they are bacteria. So those bacteria which are able to carry out photosynthesis, फोटोसिंथेटिक वन जिसके अंदर हमने बहुत सारे पढ़े हैं दैट इज ब्लू ग्रीन एल्गी जिसमें एनामिन आ रहा है नॉस्टॉक आ रहा है ठीक है अनदर आ रहा है तो ऑल दीज आर हैविंग क्लोरोफिल and the special type of chlorophyll in them which are able to carry out photosynthesis and many of them are even living in the symbiotic activities ठीक है तो blue green algae along with some of the other fungi and all so they will help us to enriching our soil तो सॉइल एनरिच करने के काम आ रही है बिकॉज दिस बैक्टीरिया विल प्रोड्यूस नाइट्रोजनस कंपाउंड्स ठीक है बिकॉज मेनी ऑफ देम आर एक्चुअली नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग तो वो नाइट्रोजनस कंपाउंड बनाएंगे लाइक अमोनिया एंड यूरिया एंड ऑल एंड दे विल एनरिच आवर सॉइल सो दिस हाउ दे विल बी वेरी यूजफुल ओके सो ये हो गया इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंस पढ़ लेते हैं इसके बाद अपना चैप्टर कंप्लीट है इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंस क्या क्या काम आते हैं बैक्टीरिया हमारे देखने से ऐसा लग रहा है सारे प्रॉब्लम क्रिएटिंग ठीक है बट बैक्टीरिया आर वेरी यूजफुल यू कैन नॉट इमेजिन अ वर्ल्ड विदाउट बैक्टीरिया क्यों भाई क्या कर रहा है बैक्टीरिया बैक्टीरिया सबसे पहले द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क विच इज कैरिड बाय द बैक्टीरिया इज डिकम्पोजिशन और रिसाइकलिंग ऑफ डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर रिसाइकलिंग ऑफ डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर का मतलब क्या हुआ दैट इज जितनी भी चीजें मरती हैं सड़ती हैं गलती हैं फैल जो आपने बैंगन काटा और उसका छिलका फेंक दिया और banana khaya and peel you through and the waste food which you threw out and the human excreta and the other animals excreta and the dead bodies the rat or the mice which is dead in your house you simply pick from your tail and throw it out the, in the waste places they all are decomposed by the microbes and its carbon dioxide is returned to the environment ammonia is returned to the environment and other minerals जैसे sodium potassium calcium etc are returned to the soil ठीक है तो air water soil these things will be returned so that when we live we get all these things ठीक है so that same carbon dioxide will go into the plant and it will be used in fixing the food in photosynthesis and the same minerals will enter into the plant and will produce fruit and next time when you eat apple you should thank those bacteria which are decompose the dead organic matter and you are eating that up many of people will not digest this और मरी हुई चीजों को हम खा रहे हैं पर दुनिया तो वही है भैया वही घूमती रहती है नया थोड़ी आता है every time we are not getting new sodium potassium calcium magnesium etc from the फ्रॉम द स्काई भगवान थोड़ी बरसा रहे हैं भगवान ने एक बार बनाई यूनिवर्स और भगवान चले गए सोने के लिए काउच पे बैठ करके आराम से रिमोट चला के देख रहे हैं कि राजू जेवियर क्या कर रहा है एम फलाना क्या कर रहा है ठीक है जस्ट कीपिंग रिकॉर्ड उन्होंने अपना सॉफ्टवेयर को बना रखा है कोई भी गलती करे उसके खाते में डाल देना कुछ अच्छा कर रहा है उसके खाते में डाल देना व्हेन विल कम अप विल मेजर देखेंगे कि भैया इसको स्वर्ग में डालना है कि इसको नरक में फेंकना है चल सब फालतू की बात है ना तो आई थिंक इट इज क्लियर द फोटोसिंथेटिक जो अपन ने पढ़े हैं उसके अंदर ब्लू ग्रीन आए ठीक है और उसके अलावा देर आर नंबर ऑफ डिकम्पोजर्स सॉरी डिकम्पोजर्स की बात करें तो डिकम्पोजर्स आ गए एंड द थर्ड वन आर नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग they are very useful because they are minimizing the use of industrial ammonia and urea which we are producing तो उसमें जो काफी सूद खर्चा होता था वो बच गया so if we use pea plant you use any of the pulses and then next crop you're growing in the wheat in the same field you'll get soil automatically the same nutritious nurtured because the nitrogen which was fixed by the old plants are still there ठीक है सो नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग इज अ पार्ट द थर्मोएसिडोफिल इज द सोर्स ऑफ acid ठीक है then methanogens which is the source of fuel okay then alcohol which we get you know and we are even getting our food fermented in the form of idlis and dosas and cheese and the butter and the milk curd and all these items जो है they are actually maintained by the microbes are bacteria are also used in softening of the leather है ना and many more applications are there बेनिफिशियल होंगे, नुकसान भी करते हैं, बहुत करते हैं भाई, बहुत करते हैं। कैसे? अभी बारिश के दिन हो ना, अभी आप जूते गीले करके रख दीजिए, leather shoes, and they will be eaten away by the bacteria, decomposed, because bacteria need only a moist environment and organic matter. So both are there. तो शुरू हो जाएंगे अपना काम करना, एंड बैक्टीरिया will decompose your old things, whatever organic matter which are left. है ना? Bacteria cause large number of diseases, pneumonia, typhoid, syphilis, gonorrhea, बहुत सारी बीमारियां, and all those diseases are nuisance because they take very long for their curing. ठीक है? The treatment, like अगर आप टीबी का ट्रीटमेंट कराएंगे, it goes on for several years. ठीक है? निमोनिया, इट टेक्स अराउंड 15 to 20 days, एंड उसके बाद आपको अगेन यू आर रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू व्हाट टू ईट एंड व्हाट टू नॉट टू ईट एंड, ठीक है? गोनोरिया एंड सिफिलिस, द सेक्सुअली ट्रांसमिटेड डिजीज, वेरी डेंजरस। ओके, सो ये हो गया। एंड द माइकोप्लाज्मा विच आई जस्ट रोट, पीपीएलओ, है ना, माइकोप्लाज्मा, दे आर वेरी स्मॉल एंड दे आर न्यूसेंस, दे कॉजेज नंबर ऑफ डिजीजेस एंड ऑल। सो हमने पढ़ा बैक्टीरिया जो है वो काफी सारी बीमारियां कॉज करती हैं, एंड बैक्टीरिया बहुत सारे यूजफुल भी है। सो इट इज द किंगडम ऑफ बैक्टीरिया, किंगडम मोनेरा इज द किंगडम ऑफ बैक्टीरिया। दैट्स ऑल फॉर अस। ओके, सो मैंने पढ़ा दिया है some of the examples which are given in the book. You learn when you learn the book, and if you get any doubt, I am going to solve it. So the next kingdom is kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista, very important. Protista. Now, what is Protista? Protista includes all unicellular and eukaryotic. Unicellular, when the body is made up only once. And eukaryotic means which have got a well-defined nucleus. Well-defined nucleus. Unlike in monomer, there was no nucleus, but there was a nucleoid region. And in monorans had only one single chromosome. Here, the number will be more than. Okay, so I think it is clear the two basic difference, that is unicellular और अच्छा, the protistans जो हैं, they were earlier like it was classified into different places. कुछ इसके जो मेंबर्स थे उनको हम प्रोटोजोआ कहते थे, कुछ इसके मेंबर थे वो फंगाई थे, कुछ इसके मेंबर जो थे वो एल्गी में थे, उनको सबको हम बटोर लाए इधर उधर उधर से निकाल के, एंड वी हैव गिवन देम अ डेफिनेट किंगडम, एंड हमने कहा कि भाई यहाँ वहाँ कहाँ तुम उनके पीछे लगे हुए हो। द होल एनिमल किंगडम सच ए डेवलप्ड वन, जिसमें ह्यूमन बीइंग भी आ रहे हैं, व्हेल, शार्क्स एंड अदर थिंग्स आर देयर, ऑक्टोपस एंड क्या कहते हैं अर्थवर्म आते हैं, उनके बीच में यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गन को डाल रखा है। It is somewhat like you are classifying, क्या कहते हैं, धीरूभाई तो मुकेश अंबानी का मकान, टाटा वाले का मकान, और हमारे छोटे मोटे मकान, और उसके सामने तंबू में जो कोई रह रहा है एक सिंपल सा झोपड़ी, उसको भी साथ में रख दिया। हु वुड लाइक, बोलेगा तंबू में रहता है, इसके पास ना फ्रिज है, ना टीवी है, ना वॉशिंग मशीन है, कुछ है, इसको हमारे साथ ना पुट कर रहा, और इसके घर में सब कुछ मिला के एक ही है, उसी के अंदर वो खाना बनाते हैं, उसी के अंदर वो कपड़े चेंज करते हैं, उसी के अंदर वो डांस कर लेते हैं, उसी में वो सो जाते हैं, उसी में वो पढ़ाई करते हैं। सो दिस नो नो नो, गिव देम ए सेपरेट नेम। और हमने क्या नाम दिया आपको? बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन, बीपीएल। ठीक है, हमारा पूरे लिविंग बीइंग्स का बीपीएल। ओके, सो ये कौन है? यूनिसेलुलर organism where the body is made up of one cell, but they are better than the monorans because they have got a nucleus and they are the membrane bounded organisms. They are better than the monorans because they have got nucleus and membrane bounded organelle like mitochondria, Golgi body, ribosome में तो होते ही नहीं है, endoplasmic reticulum and vacuoles, and even plastids may be there. So they are better than them. Okay, एडवांटेज हो गया इनका, ये उनसे अच्छे हो गए। क्यों अच्छे हो गए? बिकॉज इनके पास अलग अलग कमरे हैं, अलग अलग काम के लिए। फोटोसिंथेसिस करना है तो क्लोरोप्लास्ट पे पहुंच जाओ, और रेस्पिरेशन करना है तो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया का कमरा यूज कर लो, और प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस करना है तो राइबोसोम पे चल जाओ, और लिपिड सिंथेसिस प्रोटीन के साथ मिला के करना है एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम में चले जाओ, और पैकिंग करना है गोल्गी बॉडी में चले जाओ। एंड देन different areas, different rooms. Like if we have a house in which of three, four rooms are there for dining, we go to the dining room. For cooking food, we go to the kitchen, and for washroom, we go to the same washroom and all. Okay, and then we even have a room of recreation जहाँ हमने म्यूजिक सिस्टम वगैरह लगा रखा है, लाइब्रेरी बना रखी है. We just sit in the couch and read the newspaper or magazine or watch TV, है ना. या फिर हमारे पास एक ड्राइंग रूम हो सकता है जनरली टू वेलकम. ठीक है, तो दे आर दोज काइंड ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म. तो यूनिसेलुलर तो है लेकिन वो यूकैरियोटिक. सो यूकैरियोटिक जो है उन्होंने कहा भैया हम प्रोकैरियोटिक के साथ नहीं बैठेंगे. तो बड़े वालों ने कहा भैया हम तुमको हमारी कॉलोनी में भी नहीं घुसने देंगे, क्योंकि तुम्हारे पास तो एक ही सेल है. हमारे न तुम्हारे पास टिश्यू है, न तुम्हारे पास ऑर्गन है, न तुम्हारे पास सिस्टम है. तो हाउ कैन वी लेट यू इंक्लूड विथ अस? नीदर यू गॉट more than one cell, nor you got tissues, nor you got organs, nor you got organ system. So you are not fit to be staying with us. ठीक है, तो उनको वहां पे कई सालों पहले जो एथलीट आए तो कुछ शूज भी नहीं रहते, पैर ही दौड़ रहा है. ठीक है, अभी हमने किट विट बना दिया ना, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया गिव्स देम किट. ऑफ कोर्स whether it reaches to them or not, that is a different thing. But there are some standard things. Okay? But if you remember, uh, during the time of Hitler or Major Dhyan Chand, he went to play hockey barefoot. हम वैसे चाहते नहीं है कि इनको ऐसे डिवाइड करें, बट जस्ट टू मेक आवर स्टडी इजी. उनको तो क्या पता पड़ रहा है, दे डोंट हैव सेंस कि भाई हमने उनको कहाँ डाल रखा है ना. ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन नॉट डू दिस क्लासिफिकेशन विद द पीपल लिविंग अराउंड यू. ओके, चलिए, तो दिस इज व्हाट द जनरल इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट इम्यून प्रोटीन. अच्छा, देयर साइज का अरेंज करेंगे. देयर साइज विल रेंज फ्रॉम 5 माइक्रोन टू 100 माइक्रोन. Now you compare what prokaryotic are there 0.2 micron to 10 micron. So there is a reason यहाँ से लेकर के यहाँ तक वो सेम हो सकता है. ठीक है, which they may share 5 to 10. ये 5 to 10 और ये 5 to 10 ये शेयर कर सकता है, लेकिन ये तो बहुत कम लेवल. That will not be with them. These are a higher range which is not shared by. तो ठीक है, तो साइज आपको समझ आ गया. Sure. Now, I said earlier the organisms which are today included into Protista were scattered in the different places, and they are brought from there and they are given a new name. ठीक है, सो अब हमने उसको प्रोटिस्टा कह दिया, पहले उनको अलग अलग नाम में डाल रखा था. ठीक है, तो हमने अभी इनको क्लासिफाई कर दिया दो कैटेगरी में, नॉन फोटोसिंथेटिक, फोटोसिंथेटिक. Photosynthetic protists and non-photosynthetic. And the third one is there which I call slime modes. Okay? Here. Non-photosynthetic को पढ़ना होगा because the structure of movement we are classified as amoeboid, ciliates, plagiates, and what we call sporozoans. And the photosynthetic are further classified into what we call diatomic, that dinoflagellates, and the third one is euglenoids. Okay, now their description we'll study in the next class. So I just give you a little bit idea how we have done the classification. Protista हमने कहा unicellular eukaryotic organisms, irrespective to their ability कि वो क्या करते हैं, how they engage in this and how. फिर हमने उनको क्लासिफाई करा. So actually these photosynthetic were actually classified as into plant kingdom earlier and they were categorized as algae. तो मैंने आपको पिछले इससे पहले वाले में बताया मोनोरेंस में भी देयर वर सम फोटोसिंथेटिक, दे वर आल्सो एल्गी. एल्गी वर एक्चुअली इंक्लूडिंग टू प्लांट्स. ठीक है, तो उनको वहां से निकालना है. बोले भैया ये तुम्हारी जगह नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट द बिगनिंग. आई सेड इन द बिगनिंग ऑफ दिस चैप्टर क्लासिफिकेशन कोई फिक्स चीज नहीं है. हम क्लासिफिकेशन कभी भी चेंज कर सकते हैं. जैसे हमने कहा कि भाई मेरे को गोभी अच्छी लगती है तो फॉर मी गोभी में भी है गुड थिंग, फॉर समबडी एल्स गोभी छी सो बदबू आती है, ये सब मसला मसला जाता है, वो ही मे नॉट लाइक. सो लाइकिंग डिसलाइकिंग मे बी सम रीजन और अदर्स, मे बी बिकॉज इट इज ग्रोइंग देयर व्हिच इज नॉट ग्रोइंग देयर, और मे बी बिकॉज सम रीजन और अदर दे मे क्लासिफाई. तो क्लासिफिकेशन चेंज होता रहता है भाई. तो क्लासिफिकेशन में पहले ये सब कहाँ थे? प्लांट में थे, फोटोसिंथेटिक. हमने कहा भैया तुम प्लांट में क्या करो, बिकॉज देयर बॉडी मल्टीसेलुलर यूनिसेलुलर, चलो हटाओ वहां से. तो फिर हमने इनको क्लासिफाई कर दिया भैया तुम्हारी बॉडी में यूकैरियोट मतलब एटलीस्ट गॉट न्यूक्लियस एंड माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, सो वी विल गिव यू न्यू किंगडम. तुम्हारे लिए एक नया गांव बसाएंगे, और वो गांव किस हिसाब से बसाया हमने, दैट इज द यूकैरियोटिक यूकैरियोट. अगर प्रोकैरियोटिक होते हैं तो इसको उस गांव में भेज देते, किसमें? मोनोरेंस. So they are there. And slime molds, they are those type of fungi which are having nucleus, but they are having saprophytic mode of nutrition, saprobic rather. And the third one is non-photosynthetic. Non-photosynthetic मतलब photosynthesis भी नहीं करते हैं, और ये animals के अंदर घुसे हुए थे प्रोटोजोन नाम से. प्रोटो मतलब पहले क्या बता, प्रोटो मतलब पहले, बिफोर. ठीक है, एंड जोआ मतलब एनिमल पूरा बने उससे पहले के नहीं है. ठीक है, दैट मींस दे आर नॉट हैविंग दोस टाइप ऑफ ऑटोट्रोपिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. ठीक है, तो ये कौन है? अमीबॉइड या अमीबा जैसे दिख रहे हैं. सीलिएट इसमें सीलिया मिल रहा है, फ्लैजिलेट इसमें फ्लैजिला मिल रहा है, एंड स्पोरोजोन में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा. रादर दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग स्पोर्स which are of a specific need. Okay, so in the next class, that is in tomorrow's class, whenever I have class, next class, then we'll describe them one by one. That's all for today, children. If you got any doubt, I am available in the school. Thank you. Good day.